I don't like reading books. I also never thought I'd actually pick up one, but hey, I did, so here's a quick commentary video about it. So, books never really stood out to me at all. I never liked reading them, and the books probably didn't want to be stared down for like 5 hours by someone like me. So, me and books came to a mutual understanding that we won't interfere with each other's lives. And all was good, right? Wrong! I actually did end up reading some books. In fact, most of what I read are so memorable. I still remember a bit of content from the book I've read. Funnily enough, I don't actually remember the name of the book. It's been like 2 years or something since I've read it, but basically, it was comprised of like 12 different stories written by like 12 different authors. The main topic was supposedly young love. I don't think I knew that at the time. I just grabbed the book and started reading. There were two chapters that stuck out like a needle. I forgot the context for one of them, but the other one was so relatable, I still remember the story to this day. It was a Vietnamese book, so. But hey, I can translate into English. So, it followed a boy who was in love with a girl out of his league. He spent the majority of his time playing video games, while she was hard at work studying to get into a top school. His friends ridiculed him about his decision and they told him he needed to change in order to get her attention. He was also part of the basketball team, if I remember correctly. He talked to her a few times about needing help in class, but that's about it. She's very helpful and kind to everyone, which was what got his attention in the first place. But in contrast to himself, he didn't think he was worthy, but he still wanted her attention. So his friends told him to lock in and start studying and exercising better. The majority of his class actually knows he's in love with her, and they usually leave like weird signs and stuff for him. It's kind of like in a class setting where the entire class knows that a specific boy is in love with a specific girl, and the entire class does everything in their power to get those two together. That is basically what the setting of the story actually is. His friends tell him he needs to lock in and stuff in studies and sports. But over the past few weeks, his studies have actually gotten better and he's a lot more locked in on his basketball team. His friends compliment his growth and says she might actually notice him real soon. But one day, it was PE class. It was PE class. So the entire class was there, right? So the girl was sitting on the bench reading, and suddenly a basketball comes hurling at her on accident, and the boy, who was actually nearby, deflects the freaking ball back. I was so shocked when I read this in class, and and then in the setting in the story, the entire class were observing the two of them. They were like the gossip class, and like they were like, oh my god, it's actually happening. Oh my god, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? Yeah, basically those stuff. So here comes the groundbreaking dialogue. She thanks him for his quick reaction. He tries to act normal, but couldn't. And she utters out the words, hey, so you like me? Not wanting to lie, he subtly said yes. And she talks about how she's known for quite some time, especially from her own friends and other classmates, as well as how he and his friends have been acting for the past few weeks. But she also explains her situation clearly. She basically says that she wants to try as hard as she can. She wants to try as. Okay. She says this. You see, I want to study hard to get into one of the top universities in the world, and as of right now, she doesn't want any potential obstacles standing in her way. She takes notice of his growth over the past few weeks, but she also explains her situation clearly, and she ends up the dialogue with, this is pretty selfish of me, right? I think what she's doing here is giving him a soft and nice rejection. As to her, dating is not one of her main priorities right now. and she just wants to focus on getting the best possible grades to get into the best universities. I don't remember how it continued after this, but after that conversation, he was pretty under the weather for the next few weeks until one day his friends arrive at his home and basically they try to talk some sense into him, like how getting rejected by her is not the end of his life and he should become someone that she would be proud of to have as a potential boyfriend. Well, just not to her, I guess. So the male lead takes this as a learning lesson, swears he'll become an even better person, whether it be in studies or sports, as he and his friends swear that they'll do well in the upcoming basketball tournament. And that's the story. This was so. Oh my god, I genuinely don't know how to elaborate on it more. This story was so good simply because of how relatable it was. I think I remember having something like this happen in middle school, and this story struck so deep into my head. I'll probably remember it for like 10 years down. I'll cover more of it if I feel like it in a future video. But yeah, it was probably one of the best pieces of literature I've read in my entire life. Well, there's not much competition since I don't read that much. But this alone changed my perspective on books. Maybe they weren't so bad after all. Other books I've read are mostly light novels, like I've read from volume 5 to 9 of Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. I've read a few volumes of Aoya, and I also had to do some book chapter reading for an assignment a few days ago. It was fun. So, the takeaway of this video is, give books a try. Some might not fit you, but there are definitely some that will. I don't know. I thought I'd never be able to enjoy a book, and yet I did. And that probably wraps things up for this commentary video. I'll probably make more of these in the future if it gets a lot of attention, but next video is going to go back to my documentation oriented style of content. So stay around for that. Also, if I remember the name of the book I read, I'll let you guys know in my next commentary video. Please subscribe and like the video. Bye.